Recording log 2. Hello everybody, Dr. Sherman here. In today's tape, we will be studying and learning about one new creature we found in very recent time. In fact, only found a year ago to this very day. We don't have a name for this creature yet, but we do know what it is. So, I have to say first and foremost, thank you to scientist IB for bringing this to our attention. Now, let us tell you the way that it was described by IB. Crow, broken, and the Victorian era. A very fitting combination, we should say. Anyways, we should let our dear artist Callum Cooper get to work, and let him tell you how he designed this beast.
Okay, so unlike last episode, with this drawing I actually wrote the story first, which gave me an idea on what to draw. And while that did make it a lot easier, you'll probably see I struggled a lot more with this one than I did with the Mimic and Bara. And I'm honestly not sure why. I've drawn bird characters before, but it was so difficult to get all of the proportions right, make him look natural and unnatural at the same time, and then don't even get me started on the background. We'll get to that soon, don't worry. So, I mainly just started off trying to rough out the head shape, and I really wasn't happy with it. He just looked weird, but there wasn't much I could do about it, so moved on to doing the body. I knew I wanted something similar to the Mimic and Bara, skinny and all creepy and everything like that. I added those little tufts that just, it makes, the transition into the claws a little smoother. And I knew I wanted to be, standing on a rock to give him a bit more of a dynamic pose than just standing there. I had some, feather ruffles around him, and that really did help. And I don't know what I was thinking here with the patches. It did work out, but I don't know why I did it. But yeah, those ruffles really helped, shape the head out. The wings, God, the wings were easy. They were literally just draw little blobs of, spikes, duplicate them, add a couple little details, boom, wings done. They were probably the easiest part of the drawing. After that, it was hard to figure out a position I wanted the wings in. I didn't know if I wanted them up or down, so I just moved on to the hands and claws. Again, these were really simple, it's literally just drawing 3 fingers and a long stick. It's really easy. Eventually, I decided to put the feathers up, have them almost like he's ready to take off. And then this part I was quite proud of myself for smart this part. I just copied this over and just used that as the arm tufts instead. And that worked out really well, so less F had to be put in there. At this point, it was mainly just... the tail. I forgot about the tail. I added the tail, which is just a wing, but stretched out. And then I added the details, which was literally just adding stripes to the arms and legs to make them look more... I don't even know the word, just weird, I guess. Then it was the final details of adding the feathers. And finally, I moved on to the background. So, obviously I had to get the rock in there first, and I used a different brush to make that mossy texture, which I was actually quite proud of. The grass is really simple. You draw a line, you fill it in. Easy as that. And I wanted a similar background to the Mimic and Bara, but I didn't want to use a woods, so I instead had mountains to almost frame him in the picture. Then I added a moon. This also helped to frame him, as it would draw the attention to specifically the character, not any background details. The stars, I just used my normal technique for stars, which is just use the duplicating tool. Finally, I just added some shading. I struggled with getting the shading right. And I used a similar technique with the shading as I did in the Mimic and Bara episode. Because as you'll see, once I've actually finished adding the shadows and shade, I did the full screen black and changed the opacity again. But other than that, it was the shadow was quite hard to do. I couldn't figure out how to get it looking right. I still don't think it looks right, but hey ho. Yeah, here we go. This is what I was talking about. And with that, the drawing was complete.
To most people, there is only one thing scarier than death, and that is eternal life. The idea of being trapped forever in your own rotten decaying husk of a body strikes fear into the strongest man, woman, doctor, whoever you are. This creature was forced to live that life. Once a human called Michael, last name unknown. He worked for a plague doctor, testing out new chemical experiments. But little did he know, eventually, these experiments would lead to his fate. One night, an unknown mixture of chemicals was mixed together, late into the midnight, and tested on Michael. At first, he felt nothing. And for a while, he felt nothing. Until he caught the Black Death, also known as the Plague. After he caught this, he somehow didn't die. But he wasn't exactly alive anymore either. One night he woke up in a cold, pale sweat. He clawed his hands, they were so itchy. He kept itching, till the skin started to peel from his very muscle, underneath revealing a horrible row of black, bloody feathers. He clawed his face, desperately trying to get something out of it that he didn't know what was in. A beak eventually tore from his jaw. His body slumped off his new form. He now towered much taller than he once was, but he was not himself. He was broken. A monster. How could he face the doctor like this? How could he face his wife and kids? He couldn't. So he ran. He ran for as long as he could, eventually even flew. No matter what he tried to do, stabbing, shooting, drowning, nothing would kill him, nothing! So he lived. He kept on living, losing his humanity along the way, eventually becoming the Dark Crow.